All right, welcome to the training, everybody. My name is Trevor, and we're talking about the 2016 spring eBay seller update. And a lot of this stuff is here to roll out here pretty shortly, here within the next month or so. You'll see a lot of these new changes roll out. As I was telling you guys who were here before I started the recording, eBay usually has two updates during the year. They'll do a spring one and then they'll do a fall update. The spring ones tend to be their big ones. And sellers all across eBay are always a bit nervous around this time of year because they're wondering, what's eBay going to change, right? What's going to be different this year? And eBay's made some seemingly questionable choices over the years that haven't been so favorable for everybody. And so this year they rolled out a change, and there's several things that we'll go through. Today we're mainly just going to focus on one thing, if that's all right. But we'll look through all of their changes as we go along over the next few weeks. So you guys are prepared, okay? The big change that I want to cover has to do with eBay stores. Okay, so they rolled out a change with eBay stores. Can you guys see my screen okay right now? I'm actually sitting on the spring update for 2016. You guys see that? I'll show you this is the stores update right here. So I know this is small. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this better. Here's the long and short of it, okay? We'll get into the details, but if you're just wondering what the big change was, stores got slightly more expensive in return for what I think is not justifiable value. So there's your update right there. Stores are slightly more expensive, and there's a couple of little added features that you get for the added expense, which in my opinion, aren't all that great. There you go. That's the update, right? Now let me give you the specifics behind that, okay? And what I mean by slightly more expensive is that not really that much more expensive, but slightly. Let me see if I can find the comparison chart. Well, here's the chart. I don't know if they have a comparison chart, but let me see if I can find their existing subscription levels. Okay, by the way, somebody define an eBay store for me real quick, because we've talked about this before in some of our trainings. I know there's newer clients here, so somebody tell me what's an eBay store? What does it mean to subscribe to a store? See if I can find their old subscription and fees. The one that's current right now. Here it is. I know some of you guys have eBay stores, so tell me what's a store. What's the idea behind just being like a normal eBay account or having a store? And by the way, we are looking right now at existing store prices and stuff. If you're a newer seller, I typically don't tell you to worry about a store during your first month. Because usually you're just learning and you're just getting started, and the big negative of a store is that it costs $20 a month right now. Whereas if you just have a normal eBay account, it doesn't cost you anything. You can just list, right? Let me read a few of your comments then. That's a great way to summarize it there, Maria. There's a monthly fee, and in exchange for that, you get lower fee rates and you get more free listings. Russell, you said lets you list your items connected to a grouping. Yeah, so it lets you categorize things, and you're saving money on your eBay fees. Absolutely. You do get a storefront, Pam. That's a good point. You get your own. It's kind of like a little website looking thing. It's a storefront, whereas you don't really have something similar on the normal eBay. Yep. You get cheaper listings. Yep. Cheaper listing fees. Yeah, okay. So basically a store is designed more for somebody who's been selling for a little while and sells enough to where it's justifiable, and I'll show you how to figure that out. So if you're a newer eBayer right now and you're thinking to yourself, do I really need a store? I'll answer that here in just a minute. But let's look at the existing store levels right now. Okay, so you have a basic store, a premium store, and then what's called an anchor store. These right here are your current monthly amounts. Now, most of you guys, when you get started with your first store, and most of you are getting what's called a basic store. That's the lowest level store, and also the cheapest, but it has a lot of great benefits. For example, you can pay a year at a time, and it's cheaper. You get 16 bucks a month, so you'll save like 50 bucks a year if you pay all at once. I typically tell you just to do monthly because it's not a big deal. That way you can cancel anytime. Then you've got discounted insertion fees right here. Now, normally with a regular account, you get 50 listings for free. On your 51st listing over the course of a calendar month, it's going to cost you 30 cents to put that product up onto eBay. With a store, it only costs you 20 cents. That's pretty good savings, right? Then you get lower final value fees. If you sell something with a normal eBay account, it costs you 10%. Sell it for 50, you're losing 5. It always costs you 10%. When you have a store, it can be as low as 4%, depending on what you're selling, and as high as 9. So at worst case scenario, you save a full percentage point on your sales. The big thing for you guys is usually this one right here. You get 200 free. What do I want to call it? Buy it now is what I wanted to say. Buy it now, fixed price listings. Whereas a normal account, you only get 50, right? So bigger sellers, higher volume sellers, it always makes more sense to have a store. Back to our update discussion. Where's our store? Here it is. Let's see. No, that's our old one. There's our new one. Okay. Let me get these right next to each other. Old one and new one. Okay, new one is the basic level store. Basically went up $5 a month. Whether you pay for it for a year or you pay for it month to month, now it's $25 a month. That's not going over too well with a lot of people on eBay. It's only $5, right? So it's not the end of the world, but still, it's an extra $5, and seemingly every other year, eBay's pushing up the fees just a little bit all the time. So $5 extra now for a basic store. The premium store is now $75. It was $60 a month. Now it's $75. So that went up 15. The anchor store is now substantially more expensive at $350 as opposed to $200 a month. Okay, so it from 5 to 15 to $150 more on these different leveling stores. Now, most of you guys who work with us go in and you're at a basic store level. You might get up to premium. Very few of you end up doing an anchor store because you have to have a whole ton of listings for that to ever make sense. And I'll show you how to run the numbers to see if it makes sense for you here in just a minute. As we scroll down, here's the added advantages. Okay, here's how they justify increasing their prices. I just told you the current store level is 200 listings. Now it's 250. So you get an extra 50 listings for free. Now, under what we said just a minute ago, listings in a store were costing you guys about 20 cents extra a month. So if you're getting 50 free listings, times that by 20, it's supposedly saving you $10 a month. So in theory, is it saving you money? Probably, if you're utilizing more of your basic level store. That change actually did save you some money. So it's not all bad, right? You might pay more as a monthly premium, but if you're taking advantage of those added benefits and you're listing 250 items a month, you're saving some money. So I thought that was actually not the worst change in the world. But still, nobody wants to see anything go up in price, me included. So I won't go over the details of the other stores as much, but there's an increase in free listings there too. The big thing was this right here is kind of an interesting change. So now if you're an anchor store, available as of July 1st, you get dedicated customer service, meaning you probably get a special department within eBay. If ever you have a concern, you get to call their quote unquote special department, who probably has a higher elevated customer service level and helps you out a little bit more. I mean, I don't know, right? The details are a little sketchy right now. That's what I'm guessing. So they're saying this dedicated customer service line available July 1st. That doesn't matter to you guys because you guys aren't signing up for that $300 a month store, right? You get a new thing is you get a promoted listings credit. They're doing this thing where you can pay to have your listings promoted and show up higher. Yes, Russell, after 250 free listings, you'll still be paying 20 cents per additional listing. So that hasn't changed. So it'll still be 20 cents. This is kind of an interesting one, okay? So eBay is sort of getting into the shipping packaging business, which won't impact a lot of you guys because I know a lot of you guys do drop shipping and you're not doing any shipping anyway. But I want you to notice something. This is brand new. They have what's called the eBay branded shipping supply coupon, which you get every quarter. So as a basic level store, you basically get this $25 shipping coupon. And what that allows you to do is you can mosey on over to their new shipping supplies store, which I'm going to show you. I think this is another eBay play, a strategic play to try to be more like Amazon. eBay now is printing their own boxes for sellers and putting the eBay label on those boxes, just like you guys or a lot of you guys can probably relate to the little Amazon logo that shows up on everything, right? I feel like I get one of those every single day at my house, a little Amazon box. But Amazon has a very distinct logo on their boxes, and so eBay now is basically creating this shipping supplies account. And you can go and you can buy shipping supplies directly from eBay. So if you scroll down, here are the products. The prices aren't awful, by the way. So if you do some of your own shipping, you'll get some of these boxes for free every quarter, essentially, because you get a $25 voucher to this little store right here. So once a quarter, you could come in and buy, whatever it is, 25 of these little boxes right here, and still have a little bit of money left over. See all these different shaped boxes? There's nothing special about the boxes that I can see apart from the little eBay logo. Now, for me and my business, I'll tell you what I'll be buying with my quarterly coupon. I would be buying more of these little padded envelopes. I'd probably buy something like this. See, and I'll zoom in. You can kind of see what this looks like. See that? Here's the little padded envelope. So some of us, by the way, for those of you guys who are new, some of us do carry our own inventory. I certainly do. We've been talking about some of the advantages of doing that the last few weeks. And here's an example of a little perk then. I actually don't think this is a bad deal. So every 3 months, I get $25 to go buy, 100 of these. This will buy me 100 of these little padded envelopes, which is kind of cool, right? Now, for you drop shipping people, you're like, who cares about that? I don't need any envelopes, right? I don't even do my shipping. Well, that's okay, right? Buy them anyway. Resell them on eBay, I guess, because they're free. You're going to be getting them for free with your little voucher or your coupon, okay? What do you guys think about that anyway? Cool or not cool? Think that's a nice little added perk, or you really like? I don't, I don't really care. Yeah, it's probably one of those little bubble mailers, would be my guess. Poly jacket. Oh, you know what? You might be right. You're right. These aren't padded. These are just they've got that weather resistant stuff. Yeah, good for clothing and soft goods. Yeah, so I wouldn't even want to buy these, to be honest, because I do a lot of jewelry stuff. Good eye, Russell. I certainly wouldn't use that. I use padded envelopes for jewelry. But you know what? Seriously, like this is a cool feature, but at the same time, if I go and do a search for bubble mailer on eBay, I'm telling you right now, you can get some cheap, cheap bubble mailers for nothing. Check this one out right here. So I would buy something like this. This is what I do a lot of my shipping in. You get 500 of these for 29 bucks. You can't beat that. They are definitely cheap if you want to get them. But yeah, you're right, Gale. You could wrap it in bubble wrap, couldn't you, if you wanted to? Yeah, I don't think it is a bad deal. I mean, you know, I just think every single year, what you'll notice about eBay is they are sort of second to Amazon, right? Amazon's the big player. eBay's huge as well. So we're talking about two giants, but eBay's trying to mimic a lot of what Amazon does because everybody loves Amazon. Yes, eBay has a huge customer base, but they copy Amazon because they have done a really great job. So I think this is a shot at trying to do that with their branded stuff. Oh, Elaine, you bought your shipping stuff through Amazon, huh? Gail, I don't know. Did they have bubble mailers? Let me click back. Maybe they did. Maybe I just missed it. No, I don't think they do. Let me search the word bubble. No. No, so I think they're just regular boxes and then these sort of thin, whatever they call it, air jackets, poly jackets for more soft products. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. It is what it is, right? I don't know how valuable this will be to us, but we'll take some free shipping supplies, right? So that's the big change. I mean, there you go. I mean, as far as eBay stores are concerned, it could have been a lot worse. This is effective as of May 6th, so you can plan on seeing an adjustment there, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Whenever I do these spring seller updates, I'll give you my opinion on what I think things will be like, and then we'll see how they actually are. But these aren't bad changes. Luckily, these are just fine. So I'll get into some of the other changes here as we go along. I didn't want to go into any more today. I just wanted to share with you guys the stores issue, and then real quick, just this tool right here. Um, yes, it's called the Fee Illustrator. So if you want to find this little tool, you can go to Google and you can do a search for the eBay Fee Illustrator. Okay, just do a search like that. eBay Fee Illustrator. It'll be the one at the very top, and it brings you here. So this is for you guys who are like, I don't know if I need a store or not. Should I get a store? Is it worth the 25 bucks a month? Well, run the numbers because the numbers don't lie. So it's going to ask you what category do you primarily sell in. I'm going to say jewelry and watches. How many listings do you create a month? You need to estimate. How many listings do you create every single month? I don't know. We'll say 125 listings. We'll say, okay. Skip this one unless you're a top-rated seller. How many items do you sell a month? Well, we'll say we sell, 20 items a month, we'll say. Okay? Average selling price, $87. And what's your average cost to ship? 0, because we're getting free shipping from our drop shippers. Choose a subscription. We want a monthly subscription. So calculate. And this is going to tell you, based on those numbers and based on the estimated fees, what kind of a store I should get. And based on those inputs, if I had no store, it would cost me about $196 a month off of all this that I'm doing. Now, don't misunderstand. Most of that cost is in my final value fees, which are right here, because eBay's taken their 10%, right? Most of the cost is found there. But if you had a basic store that costs you $20 a month, you run the numbers and you're going to save a nice little amount there. So that's your best option, because that's the cheapest. If you had a premium store, it'll make it more expensive. If you had an anchor store, it'll be even more expensive. So the answer to this is I need a basic store. Now, what if I'm doing this on a grander scale? Okay, what if I'm doing 600 listings a month and I'm selling, 125 items a month? My average sale price is $135 per sale. Now let's calculate it. Well, they're going to recommend at that point a premium store. If I didn't have a premium store and I was doing this without a store, it would cost me $1,852 a month based on these numbers. With a premium store, I'd be saving money, right? I'd be saving almost $300. So this is a great way for you to figure out if you actually need an eBay store. And you can also talk to your coach about it. If you're a newer client looking at this right now, you probably won't need one for a month or so. But if you've been selling for a while and you're making sales and you're doing an awful lot of listings, it's time to consider getting a basic store, which will be just slightly more expensive here coming up in early May. All right? Pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Well, that's all I'm going to cover. If we go back here to the seller update, which I will scroll up here to the top. This is the seller update that we're looking at right now. There are other things that are changing, but not by very much. In my opinion, this was the big change, which wasn't even that big. I'll share with you guys some of the other stuff here in upcoming weeks. If you would like to learn more about the new seller update, I will send out a link to everybody, which I just did. Or you can simply just do it the old-fashioned way. Go to Google and type in Spring Seller Update 2016, and you'll find it up there at the very top. Okay? All right. So I'll answer a couple more questions, then we'll finish up. Sorry, this wasn't the most entertaining presentation in the world. This is one of those ones where we got to cover policy, and hey, we got to do it, right? It's not always fun, but we got to do it. Yeah, so if I do a good till canceled listing, Pam says, do they relist it after 30 days and charge a listing fee? Yep. So that counts as one of your listings. So you list a good till canceled, it gets relisted after 30 days, and that will count as an additional listing, yes. But if you're within your 250 free on that, then it's not going to cost you anything. It would just matter only if that was over 250. Good question. All right, pretty exciting stuff, huh? We'll do more of this when we meet together next Friday. We'll probably talk a little more policy, make sure you guys are all clear and cut on the 2016 spring update, and then we can get back to some more cool stuff. We might do some more AliExpress stuff. I've got more drop shipping stuff to talk about. There's always a million things we need to go over on eBay, and we hardly have enough time for it. So I hope these are beneficial to you guys as we're continuing to do these the rest of the year. All right? Okay, well, thanks for coming along, and I will see all of you same time, same place. See you again.